Welcome, everybody, to the Genesis Mindset. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about two little tokens that I don't feel like a lot of people know about, but they're doing a lot of good for the Atropa ecosystem. And if you are a fan of the Atropa ecosystem, these two coins might be ones to actually accumulate for yourself. So this is Overkill and Friends. So in case you guys don't know OGWebChef, I actually had OGWebChef on an interview stream quite some time ago, and I definitely recommend checking that out. There was a lot of good alpha there, particularly in relation to being, he's a dev, so he was able to share a lot of good information, his feel about the Atropa ecosystem, his feel about pulsechain, his feel about his ecosystem. So I'll definitely recommend going to check that out. And because this is his ecosystem, let's get straight into it. So here he is, OGWebChef, according to Midjourney, cooking up some cryptocurrency. So Overkill and Friends. So obviously he's cooking up a crypto fiesta. I think he's Hispanic. And my apologies if you're not OGWebChef, but Jesus Escobar. And when I spoke to him, he sounded Hispanic. So okay, first Overkill, OGWebchef888. So Jesus Escobar. So he is the creator of this particular token. And this token gives rewards in 6 tokens. So Finfire, SJL, Ruffle, 888, Escobar, and Finvesta. So I personally have a couple of those, and some of them I have in LP as well. So I bonded them to coexist. So what I like about these kinds of tokens is the amount of liquidity bonding that they actually do and the objective that they're trying to achieve. And the next one is Friends. So there's two friends on pulsechain. So if you type friends into Dex Screener, there's 2 on there. And so the right contract address is the one that you see here. I will also post this contract address in the description below. So 6 reward tokens. It rewards in Atropa, Bear, Treasury Bill, Mantisa, TSFI, and Legal. So I love that little bundle. That is an awesome little bundle. So you've got Atropa, which is the big daddy. You've got Bear, which we all think is going to flip SHIB and Doge. We're hoping that it's going to flip SHIB and Doge. Treasury Bill is a very underrated one. Mantissa is one of my favorites simply because I just love it. I love the concept behind it. And what Maria was saying is that it's going to be the gateway into the institutional world. And if you look at all the Atropa tokens and the different kinds of languages, the way that it's set up is it looks like it's set up in a way, and even in the early days of the chat log, it's set up in a way where it's trying to maximize its outreach. So it's like this web that just keeps growing and growing and trying to connect to all these different points on the earth and all these different cultures and people in as many different kinds of ways as possible. And Mantissa is supposed to be the gateway for the institutional money. So I love it from that perspective. You got TSFI, which is a big one. So there is currently a big push from, I think Maria was saying in the chat log, to push TSFI. I saw some boys posting that the other day. And then Legal as well is another very underrated one. So Legal was one of the first ones that was created with the Atropa ecosystem. So you had Atropa, which was bonded to PDI, and then Maria created Down and then Legal. Or was it the other way around? Legal and then Down. And so Down is his profit-taking one, and then Legal is another very underrated one with not many holders whatsoever. So just by holding these tokens, you're getting rewarded in all 6 of these tokens. And the beauty of this is, yes, you want volume. Volume is going to increase the rewards that you get. But because of the liquidity bonding and the arbitrage bots, the way that this contract is going to work is that just by the arbitrage bots with all the pools that they're bonded with, the arbitrage that happens between them is going to reward the holders. So this is the real beauty of this particular token. So just from these tokens, you'll get rewarded in 12 different tokens. So this is something to look out for. This is something that's very cool. So what's so special about it? So the community is quite strong. They're very vocal. They have reached out to me a number of times to do a video. So shout out to you, Marcus and Paul the Crypto. So couple of lads have been asking me quite a lot to do these videos. It's already burnt 10K Atropa tokens in just 1 week. The other goat thing about it is Maria has 1.11 of the supply, and there's only 6 supply with Friends. So The strategy that OGWebChef has used for these particular tokens and some of his other tokens that I've been looking at is to try and get high value tokens. So tokens that have obscenely high US dollar values. And so the way that you do that is by limiting the supply. So OGWebChef is also talking with Maria to support the token. And so Maria has basically said that if it gets to $1 million, Maria will make some moves to try and support it. So there's a desire at the moment to keep the liquidity low so it can get to 1 million as fast as possible. So it's about a 3x to there now. I think it's in the 400,000. So I'm going to go into the charts in just a moment. And the other thing is obviously this is a very strong, supportive community. So they've already burnt LP with 888. So they've accumulated their 888. And 888, I believe, is one of the tokens that OGWebChef made. I know it's one of the tokens that he made, but I believe it's one of the tokens with a very small supply. So it has a very high rate, very high USD value. So, this shouldn't say the experiment, sorry, but this is our boy Jesus Escobar. So that's OGWebChef. So he said, Maria has mentioned being willing to support friends. We just need to sustain a $1 million floor and I'll verify the contract. So at the moment, the contract is possibly not verified. I'll check that in a minute on the Block Explorer and then maintain that 1 million floor. So similar principle to BFF. So from there, it will be up to the community if they want the Atropa dev to launch a token with initial liquidity being friends or support it in a different way, such as adding liquidity. So this is cool. So through this community, there's a connection to Maria. So now Maria wants to work in some way with this community, I imagine. I know OGWebChef is a lot in the chat. So he's in the chat log. So I will send one friends token to 414 wallet from deployer for whatever purpose the community deems fit. Let's burn some tokens, fam. This helps pStables way more than most are aware. So just by burning the tokens, it helps the pStables. I would love to be able to know why that is. Why do you guys think burning the tokens helps pStables? I'm purely just curious. Burning the supply of friends. I think burning the supply of friends would help pStables because as friends is connected to 6 tokens, those 6 tokens are also getting burnt in the burn address. And so by burning the supply and then the rewards are being burnt in the burn address, this is also, so it's reducing the supply of Atropa and Bear and Legal and TSFI in circulation, which by extension is increasing its value, which by extension is increasing the value of PDI. So this is one thing that OGWebChef was talking about in the stream that I had with him, that he really wanted to do his best to support PDI. He's been really working towards that as well. So shout out to OGWebChef for that. So there's a lot of cool ass devs on this community that are really working hard to try and make everything work in this beautiful, unique way that we have going on here with the Atropa ecosystem. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to get into the charts. So let's just take a look at these charts just very briefly. So this is Overkill. So Overkill to US. So this is the 4-hour chart. So it's very new. So this was launched less than a month ago. So at the moment, its current price is 55,000. Well, yeah, 55,873. Here it shows 281, but yeah, I don't know which is the more accurate. I don't know which ends up being the more, I think, it's because this is on the, if I change this to the 1 minute, it'll probably show me the 55. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, the 4-hour, it's giving the average of the candle. So it's always more accurate when you read the USD value under the pair address. So not a lot of volume. Hey, market cap 333K. Oh shit, your boy's gonna have to get in on this now. Oh man, I have to get on this. Wow, shout out to your OGWebChef. Shout out to you, OGWebChef community. Your boy is gonna have to get into this now. 333K. Oh man, okay. All right, I'm gonna have to get into this. So Overkill. I will be getting some Overkill. All right. So yeah, it's had this massively insane candle. Now, the thing is, it's because, so the liquidity to the market cap ratio, at the moment, the liquidity is 1.5K. The market cap is only 300. Well, the market cap is only, it's not just only, it is 130, it's 333K. So it's that same principle that's happening with what's the same logic of BFF, where you limit the liquidity. It's the hex logic. You limit the liquidity, but you have a massive supply and a massive market cap, and the market cap really means nothing. So the price can, I want these arrows to be nice. The price can really go bananas. So the price can go bonkers in a very short period of time with a very small amount of liquidity, because there's only 1,500 liquidity with this particular token. So that's what would have happened here. There would have been somebody who did a massive bunta buy. It went all the way up, then it sold all the way down because people would have sold. So the goal for this one also, I believe, is 1 million. So they want this to get to 1 million as well. So, you know, it's not too far. 1 million. What's that? A 20x? Just under a 20x. So there you have it. No, that's a 10x rather. Oh gosh, basic math. So Overkill. Now I'm going to have a look at the block explorer. So Overkill. I should have brought that up first. Sorry. So Overkill. 6 as well. So only 6 on this. 292 holders. So let's have a look at what the setup is like. So, oh wow. Okay. So, oh, this is interesting. This is very interesting. Okay. I would have expected to have seen a lot of liquidity pool. Because the liquidity's so low. So you could easily buy. Oh, maybe it's possibly too late now. I mean, you really wanted to get it. Not too late, but too late to get up in like the bunta areas of the. Hang on, let's have a look over here. So what was the price down here? Yeah, I mean, when it was down here, this is when it would have been sweet to be buying it, when it was like 200. And just buying a little bit would have given you a huge amount of overkill. So, you know, keeping in mind that these guys who own a huge portion of the supply, so this gentleman here who owns one, he basically owns $55,000 worth of the token. So he owns 18.3%, 18.36% of the supply. So I'm imagining this gentleman or lad or lady bought it very early. But yeah, because the liquidity is so thin, it's still a good opportunity to buy. This is the beauty of it. So there's very little liquidity pools here. So even when you look at Overkill, if I copy and paste the Overkill address, let's have a look. See, so Overkill, it's bonded to like 4 tokens: PLS, TRB, PFF, and Ruffle. So, wow. Okay, Coexist token is going to get bonded to this baby doll right here. So, okay, so that's Overkill. So, yeah, if you look here on these contract addresses, this will probably be one of those contract addresses there. It'll probably be pulsechain will be the first. And then what did we have? What was the other ones? And I only continuously show these processes so then other people that watch this channel can learn this process. That's why I continuously repeat these things as well, because I really want other people to learn. And I'm hoping that people can learn faster than it took me to learn. That's the objective of this channel. So what do we got here? So, oh, this is an interesting one that's going on. So this is a pool with lots of, maybe it's bonded with this, and I know this token, maybe it's bonded with Pete. I have no idea. Or Oishish, maybe Oishish gives rewards in all these tokens, perhaps. Ruffle, yeah, maybe Ruffle gives rewards in all these tokens, or maybe, yeah, I don't really know what's going on here. I know probably, oh yeah, Sheila Jackson live. No nukes. So okay. Anyway, let's move on. Friends. Let's have a look at Friends. So Friends, again, same objective. The objective is 1 million. So at the moment, it's 456,000 for one token. So also brand spanking new. When was this launched? This was launched less than a week ago. So it's already burnt a ton of supply. Give it a little rocket there, 110. I wish it was 111, but we'll go with that. So the volume on this one is much higher. So this is also going to be another one. This is also going to be a great one to bond with that kind of volume with tokens if you're interested in that. So I'll definitely be bonding this. I'll definitely have this bonded with Coexist. Now let's have a look at this. So this was very cool. So already, so half of the supply is burnt. So that means, I mean, we won't be able to see it here. That means all the rewards, half of the rewards that are ever getting sent out are going to the burn address. So they're being removed from supply. So that's why it's bullish for PDI, I believe. 1.1111 was sent to Maria. So Maria owns 18.52% of the supply. So I imagine everyone who watches this channel trusts Maria by now. So that to me is very bullish. You might look at that and go, oh, that's scary, but that's actually quite bullish that Maria owns so much of the supply. And similar concept here. So very thin liquidity, but there's a lot more liquidity pools with Friends. So just be mindful as well. Again, make sure you use the right contract address, because with Friends, if you type Friends, it actually doesn't come up. It comes up with this other Friends here. I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. Now, let's have a look at the actual one. So the actual Friends has a lot more liquidity pools here. So a lot of avenues that you can go through in order to get Friends. Senti. I have no idea what Senti is. That's pretty cool. So imp or simp, teddy bear, dreidel. All right, so there we go. So Block Explorer. So now we'll just finish up. So fam, things are going to be serious and will melt people's faces. OGWebChef888 just posted a message to the community. He wants 1 million price floor for Overkill and Friends token. Check all the details below. I'll give this a reshare to my boy Crypto Assets, because he's using the logo that I made there. Thanks, Crypto Assets. I'm glad somebody got some use out of it. You're welcome to join Chef TG. So here's the Chef TG. So what I will do is I'll link either the Telegram, or I'll link this post so you can follow Crypto Assets if you like, because he's talking about this a lot. And then you've got the Telegram there. So let's have a look. OGWebChef Eco Fam, we have a mission and need your engagement. We need 1 million floor that sustains for Overkill and Friends. So this is a key. What will happen after? I'll add additional LP with dedicated arbitrage set up, making volumes, so more reflections for true holders. It's time we show the chain our strength and conviction for educating investors to hold and sell responsibly without fumbling within hours or days of a launch. Also, I'm aware that devs like Maria and myself are giving guidelines to our holders, and most aren't used to that luxury. Will that be you, or will you be part of the legends that added deflation to both our eco and Atropa's ecosystem while putting most of the supply in strong diamond-handed fam? You need to realize that we are 15 to 20x from 1 million target on both Overkill and Friends, so this was a little bit older. So this is an opportunity. This is your last heads up. We're not going to let the sellers win. They do not even know what we are going to deliver. So, this is the beauty, where if you can get into an ecosystem like this, like you can get in early when the holders are so low. Both of them, they must have very, very similar holders. So both of them have, look, 219 and Overkill has 292. Both only have a supply of 6. So what does this mean? If you hold early now and you're a strong believer, and this continues to burn, and he creates liquidity pools, and it arbitrages, and it gets more bonded. So what he's talking about is creating more liquidity pools. So then what's going to happen with more liquidity pools? What he was talking about is that he wants the core believers now. So there's only 200 there, less than 300. So the core believers now. So then once this starts to really get bonded up to the Atropa ecosystem, and the core holders hopefully aren't the Jeets, and it ends up doing what it ends up moving with the Atropa ecosystem. So here we can see, obviously, there was a big buy, then a big sell. So people would have come in, taken their profits. That's fine, take your profits. But what he's talking about is selling responsibly. So creating this concept of responsible selling amongst each other. And the way that we do that is by educating the core community at the start, and having the core community, which is very small, be the custodians of the community. So when there's only 219 holders, this is actually very bullish, because this core community, if it can make its way up to this, ends up forming the foundation of the supply. And so they will end up being the ones who strengthen this ecosystem for good. That's what you want to actually see. You need that core. You need that core. So strong-handed Friends and math. Oh, math. Ugh. I used to be so good at math. Just the calculator, man, fries your brain with basic math. So introducing Friends, the latest token from our generous. So I won't read this. The target is a cool 1 million. So this is FinFi. Here's a contract address. Ride the wave. So I'll shout this one out to repost. So you've got the rewards tracker here as well. So very lovely. So all you need to do is enter your wallet address and you can check your rewards. So and you can copy the contract addresses as well for these particular tokens. So there you go. Nice and short and sweet. So put that hand down, son. So Friends and Overkill, what do you guys think? So like I said, there's been a lot of people that have been coming to me requesting a video on this. So that's my short little coverage on this. I would love to have OGWebChef on again, but the problem is our time zones are so well. I mean, the time zones are always whack in Australia because I live in the future. But yeah, it's very tricky because it means either I have to stay up late or it has to disturb his own daily schedule. So it's quite difficult, but I would love to have him on again, no doubt about that. So let's cross our fingers for something like this in the future. But like I said, again, definitely go check out that first one, especially if you're new to OGWebChef. I would strongly recommend going there just to see and get a feel for the kind of character that he is. So it's like, I mean, it should be, it's like cryptocurrency is supposed to be trustless, right? But still the devs, the people behind it, it's nice to know who they are. It's nice to have a feel for them and have a trust for them. The strongest communities, the ones that do the best and the strongest are the ones that really believe in the founder. And so that's the strength of the Hex and the Richard Hart ecosystem. We believe in the founder. So I would strongly recommend going to check out OGWebChef chat there. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this stream. And yeah, a little bit scattered, but hopefully you enjoyed it. I'm on my second day of a fast. So I'm doing a 30-day cleanse at the moment, and I'm actually following a program. So before I had done like a straight, I'd done water only fasts, but this time I'm following like a 30-day program. And in this program, basically it's a 30-day reset. And the supplements, you still have food, but the supplements and ingredients that you're having along the way, when you do get to the cleanse days, which is like the fast days, you have them either once a week or twice every 2 weeks. And when you do that, it triggers autophagy within like 12 to 15 hours. So the normal rate of triggering autophagy is like 24 hours, 36 hours, 72 hours. And I become very sensitive to that feeling of autophagy in my body. And so I was like, wow, when I heard this, I was really, that was one of the things that made me curious about this 30-day cleanse. And so when I started doing it, and it was like within the first 15 hours, I really felt that sensation of autophagy. It's like, wow, the first day, the energy's there. Then the second day, it's like the second day is kind of like the hump day when you're doing a fast. It's always like your energy is really low. It's before like the body really starts burning the fat and converting it. So I'm kind of in that process at the moment where the energy is a bit low at the start and you're a little bit scattered. But after that, if you continue to fast, your energy just goes through the roof, but you lose too much muscle mass. That's what I hated. So now I'm just doing it for the autophagy, maybe lose a little bit of weight. So in any case, I just thought I'd update you guys on that as well. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Take care.